The Minor Report.
Hello, and welcome back to the Pastor Minor Report. I'm Pastor Minor, the future pastor of ATLAH congregation. Now, I want to talk about three things today. The first thing I want to talk about is Pastor Manning as a coward. The second thing I want to talk about is the sign. I know there's been a lot of controversy about the sign, and I want to lay a lot of things to rest. And the last thing I want to talk about is the challenge that you may not have heard about that I laid out for Dr. Manning. Now let's start with number one. Number one, Dr. Manning is a coward. I laid out a challenge to him very clearly on YouTube. And since I've laid out this challenge, I've heard not a peep, not a sound from Dr. Manning. And so what does this tell us? Well, this tells us that Dr. Manning is a coward. It tells us that he knows he's not fit to be the pastor of ATLAH. And so it's just another example of him shirking his responsibilities. This man doesn't deserve to be your pastor, people of ATLAH. And you can see that. You can see that by his cowardice. But I tell you what he has done. He sicked his attack dogs out on me on the internet. J.K. Stevenson, or whoever your name is, don't attack me. And by the way, who are these people? These interlopers, these outsiders. What do they have to do with the congregation of ATLAH? That's what we're here to talk about. That's what we're here to do. To have ATLAH have a pastor who's actually going to do something for them. That's what we're here. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is the sign. Now, I know there's been a lot of controversy and a lot of bitterness back and forth and hollering and hoopla and whatnot. And this is all because of the weak leadership of Dr. Manning. But I want to say to everyone to calm down. I'll come there. I'll fix the sign. And then we'll take care of all the other things later. Now, I asked, why hasn't Dr. Manning even fixed the sign? I mean, he whines and complains about it and shows what happened to it, but why hasn't he fixed it? And I'll tell you why. Because he's weak. And that's why I'm strong. I can fix the damn sign myself. But I know a guy in Harlem who can come down and fix it for a really reasonable price. And see, that's what Dr. Manning's not doing. And that's what I'm going to do when I am your pastor at ATLAH. Now let's talk about the last thing. If you haven't heard, I challenged Dr. Manning to a three-part challenge. The first part physical, the second part intellectual, and the third part scriptural. Now Dr. Manning has not met my challenge a bit, and I want to say that I'm going to come there in the next coming weeks, and I'm going to stand out in front of ATLAH, and I'm going to challenge Dr. Manning, and he will see, and the whole congregation will see, that this man does not deserve to be the pastor, and that he's a false prophet. That's all I wanted to say for today. Please subscribe and look forward to more videos that are coming from this channel. And thank you. God bless and good night. Vote for Pastor Minor in 2014.
The Minor Report.